The distress beacon pierced through the void of space like a desperate scream. It originated from Sanctuary Station, a civilian outpost on the edge of the Etherian sector, home to over 15,000 souls representing 47 different species. The message was brief, panicked, and clear. Pirates had breached the station's defenses and a massacre was imminent. The Galactic Council convened an emergency session. Representatives from across known space debated frantically, their translators working overtime as various appendages gestured in species-specific expressions of alarm. The nearest military fleet was 3 days away. Sanctuary Station had perhaps 6 hours. Ambassador Thexal, a towering crystalline being from Proxima 7th, slammed what passed for a fist against the council table. "We must send someone now. The Vexcor pirates are notorious. They will not negotiate. They will pillage, slaughter, and vanish into the nebula before any fleet arrives." "There is no one close enough," replied Councillor Vresh, his reptilian features twisted in despair. "The humans' merchant vessel Wandering Star is the only ship within range, but it's a civilian transport. What could they possibly—" "Send them," interrupted the human representative, Ambassador Chen. Her voice was calm, almost cold. The council chamber fell silent. Dozens of eyes, optical sensors, and other perceptive organs focused on the human. "Ambassador." Thexal's voice resonated with something between pity and confusion. "We appreciate the offer, but the Wandering Star carries a crew of only 6 humans. The pirates number in the hundreds, battle-hardened and heavily armed. We need soldiers, not merchants." Ambassador Chen's lips curved into something that wasn't quite a smile. "Counselor, you asked for help. I'm telling you to send the humans." She paused, her dark eyes scanning the chamber. "You should also know that the Wandering Star isn't carrying merchants." "Not anymore." "Then who?" "You asked us to send the most capable humans available. We sent them. Now contact that ship and give them the coordinates." Captain Sarah Voss received the transmission while sipping coffee in the Wandering Star's cramped galley. 53 years old, gray streaking her military-cut hair. She'd spent 30 years in special operations before the galactic community had made contact. Now, officially retired, she'd signed up for what was supposed to be a quiet cargo run. So had her crew. Marcus Chen, former Marine Force recon, sat across from her playing cards with Yuki Tanaka, who'd once been a Japanese Special Forces Group operative. In the engine room, twins Dmitry and Katya Volkov, former Spetsnaz, were arguing in Russian about plasma coil efficiency. And in the cargo bay, James Doc Williams, a retired Navy SEAL medic, was inventorying medical supplies that, coincidentally, sat next to crates labeled agricultural equipment. Voss read the message twice, then keyed the ship-wide comm. "Attention crew. Change of plans. We've got a station under siege, 15,000 civilians about to become hostages or corpses, and approximately 600 pirates between us and them." The card game stopped. The Russian argument ceased. The inventory paused. "ETA is 45 minutes, Voss continued. "The agricultural equipment is hereby reclassified as tactical gear. Doc, prep the medbay for mass casualties. Everyone else, suit up. This is not a drill and this is not optional." Marcus was the first to speak, appearing in the doorway of the galley. "Rules of engagement, Captain?" Voss's expression hardened into something her old unit would have recognized immediately. "There are 15,000 innocent beings on that station. As far as I'm concerned, the pirates stopped being beings when they opened fire on civilians. Engage at will. No quarter unless they surrender immediately." "Understood." Marcus cracked his knuckles. "It's been a while." "Like riding a bicycle," Yuki said softly, already moving toward the cargo bay. The Wandering Star docked at Sanctuary Station's maintenance port, a vulnerable access point the pirates had overlooked in their assault on the main docks. The station's internal sensors, still functioning in some sections, detected 6 human life signs moving through the corridors. What they couldn't detect was what those humans represented. The pirates had spread throughout the station, breaking into groups to maximize terror and plunder. They wore mismatched armor scavenged from a dozen different species, wielding weapons that ranged from plasma rifles to crude kinetic projectiles. They were veterans of dozens of raids, confident in their superiority over civilians. They had never encountered humans in combat. The first group of pirates, 12 strong, was securing the station's commercial district when the lights went out. Emergency lighting cast everything in dim red. Then the screaming started. It lasted 17 seconds. When the lights flickered back on, 12 bodies lay in the corridor. No human was visible. The security cameras showed only shadows moving with impossible speed and precision. Captain Zexkor, leader of the pirate fleet, received confused reports from across the station. His forces were disappearing. Not retreating, disappearing. Entire squads would report contact, then nothing. The few survivors babbled about phantoms, about death moving through darkness, about humans. Humans? Zexkor snarled into his communicator. They're merchants. Weak civilians. You outnumber them 100 to 1. Sir, his second-in-command's voice trembled. I don't think they're merchants. Zexkor activated his personal shield and gathered his personal guard, 20 of his finest warriors. They barricaded themselves in the station's command center, where 300 terrified civilians huddled. Let them come, he growled. We have hostages. The door to the command center didn't explode inward. It didn't slowly creak open. Instead, a small device rolled across the threshold. A flashbang grenade, Doc Williams would later explain, a human tool for crowd control. The flash was blinding. The sound was deafening. What happened next was surgical. When Ambassador Chen arrived at Sanctuary Station 18 hours later with the Galactic Council's emergency response team, she found the station secure. 15,000 civilians, shaken but alive, were being treated by medical personnel. 600 pirates were either in the station's brig or being collected by mortuary services. Captain Voss met her at the airlock. Still in tactical gear, a cup of coffee somehow in her hand. Ambassador, Captain, the Council is impressed and somewhat terrified. They're asking how 6 humans accomplished what a military battalion would have struggled with. Voss shrugged. We're not special. We're just humans who've seen combat. Earth's been at war with itself for millennia. We've developed certain skills. The Council wants to know if there are more like you. Millions, Ambassador. We're a relatively peaceful species now, but there are millions of us who remember what we're capable of when pushed. Voss took a sip of coffee. We didn't want to fight. We just wanted to deliver our cargo and move on. But those pirates threatened innocents. Ambassador Chen nodded slowly. The distress call said, send help. Yes. So we sent humans. Voss smiled, genuine this time. Next time, send help faster. We're effective, but we'd rather not have to be. As the Wandering Star prepared to depart, a message spread through the Galactic Council networks, then through every station, colony, and outpost in known space. It was brief, but it fundamentally changed how the galaxy viewed humanity. Note to all species: if you require military intervention, the humans are surprisingly efficient. If you are considering piracy or violence against civilians, be aware that humans may respond. They are not merchants. They are not scientists. They are not diplomats. When necessary, they are exactly what you fear. Send help and humanity sends its most lethal. Consider yourself warned.